Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where none suffered, where everyone would be happy?
Good morning, YouTube. Mike here. I thought after Leprechaun, I thought I'd earn the right to maybe do some good movies, or at least for sure one good movie. So as you saw from the title of the video, today we're going to do Man vs. Movie, The Matrix Trilogy. Now, I know it's not as big and it's not as crazy as, that's what she said. It's not as big as Leprechaun movies, you know, it's not as long, not as many movies, maybe not as hard to get through, maybe a little bit easy. But you can't forget the challenges of the Matrix movies either, because it in itself is a mindfuck already. We're gonna see what these movies are like now. I didn't understand what the fuck happened the first time I watched it.
You ever have that feeling where you're not sure if you're awake or still dreaming?
I'm going to watch the whole trilogy today, and even though it's, you know, each movie's about 2.5 hours long, so let's go with 2, 4, 6, 7, 7.5 hours. That's still a pretty strong, you know, marathon. So for those of you who haven't seen Man vs. Movie before, the idea of this show is watch a whole bunch of movies in one day continuously. I'll review them after I watch each one. You can watch me deteriorate as the day goes on and slightly lose my mind, as I have before. We've done this with the Planet of the Apes original movies, and we've done this with the Leprechaun movies, and today is our third one, so we might as well do a a trilogy, Keanu Matrix, fucking karate kick face, Smith agents, blue pill, things I know about the Matrix, ignorance is bliss, black cat. Yes. It's like trading cards when you're a kid. The shiny ones are always the best. This one, the case is pretty shiny. I'm going to figure it out today, by God. We're going to figure it out together. I don't remember what the hell happened. Couldn't understand it, but today, we're going to do it. Scissors. Scissors. Okay. And I doubt there's anything cool in here. I said it was cheap, but we'll see. And I was correct. Just the Matrix with that cool number thing. Coding. What the fuck? Wow, that's even more kind of disappointing than I thought it would be. Hey you behind the camera, you sexy wombat. I can see myself in it. You know why? Because there's nothing fucking on it. Disappointed! So you guys can see, it is gloomy as fuck outside right now.
Look out that window. You had your time.
That's why these are Man vs. Movie days. So we're just gonna go straight into the movie like that? I want to see if there's any special features on here. There are special features. Oh. There's commentaries. Behind the story. That's what I'm talking about. I like those. I like those, behind the stories. Little documentaries about it. That's all I wanted. That's all I asked for on special features. Gag reel would have been pretty funny. Could you imagine that shit? Lawrence Fishburne. I'm gonna watch these fuckers. And drink some coffee. Have some breakfast. And I'll see you in a bit. Okay, first movie's down the hatch. The Matrix has been watched, and the easy work's out of the way. Got my first soda pop of the day, my Frank Darabont. Frank Darabont, you fucking, it's not the mist. My Frank Drebin cup, just had a cup of coffee, so the caffeine ratio's good. Feels good, deep down inside. I'm excited. I'm still having fun. This is great. After watching like 2 Leprechaun movies, I usually, you know, I was ready to slash my tires. But The Matrix was such a huge thing when it came out back in the 90s. Back when it came out in the 90s, the greatest years of all time. The Matrix was, it was such a huge deal. I remember I didn't get to watch it until it came out on video. But it was like, it was back, the shit was still coming out on VHS, you know? This great special effects, badass, awesome, crazy, like genre-bending special effects movement of a movie was on a fucking VHS tape. I mean, it was released that way. And I remember the tape too, it was all shiny. I got it for Christmas that year. The whole movie was just so cool for that time. And yeah, I will say it's a little bit outdated, just a little bit though, not in the parts that matter. The special effects look like they could have been done today. So many movies still use the special effects that they came up with in this movie. The slow motion bullet shit, the slow motion fighting scenes, just all the crazy stuff, and every single time that freaking helicopter crashing into the building scene happens and Trinity's on that rope and the shit's bursting out behind. Every single time I see that, it just fucking floors me. They used to use that ad all the time when DVD was starting out. Like that was like, there was always that shot of the shit exploding back there. And to this day, many, many years later, it still just blows my mind to watch that. I ate popcorn the other day and I got a kernel of it stuck in my gum and it hurts. This is one of the first movies you get on like DVD. Like when you got a DVD player, it's like you bought The Matrix with the DVD player. Like it's that, you know, it's like when you bought your first Blu-ray player. There's got to be at least one movie that you buy with it, and it's going to be a special effects laden film. You know, no one's first Blu-ray movie is going to be Old School or Wedding Crashers or something like that. I don't know why I picked those two movies. But that's what this movie was. This movie was like DVD. It's stunning video quality and all this new shit they were doing. And it was just so cool to everybody. It was like fucking The Matrix, man. And not only that, but it was at a time in the 90s where like hacking was cool. It's not like it was now where like hackers are actually like doing shit like with Sony and stuff like that. But hacking was like Angelina Jolie and Matthew Lillard in Hackers, like underground clothing, typing in the green coat on computer shit, trench coat wearing like Outcast guy. What the fuck were computers even good for? I don't even remember. I remember typing on a blue screen, but with the MS-DOS. I don't even know what the hell they were good for. Oregon Trail maybe? But no, this movie had not only the sci-fi and the action and the special effects, but it had this whole cool, like, underground nerdy feel to it. I think The Matrix is as big as a movie can possibly be. It may be up there in the top 5 just big fucking movies of all time. When you just think of the word big, like Matrix, like, it's just right fucking there. It's one of the first things you think of. It's still a 10. This movie's a 10 for me. The only thing outdated is some of the corniness. Some of the stuff that was still corny back then in the 90s. Like, you know, like, the first time Trinity jumps up to do her thing, maybe it's because I saw it parodied so many times and we all did with Scary Movie or wherever else they did it at. But you almost like laugh, you're like, that looks pretty corny. It's like flying grasshopper kick or whatever. And sometimes like Keanu Reeves it's a perfect movie for him. I read that Will Smith was supposed to do this role and turn it down or whatever. Dumbass on his part, but I'm really glad that Keanu Reeves did it instead. He's like nerdy, but a badass. That's what every nerd wanted to be. Like, he's skinny. He's not like an Arnold Schwarzenegger type guy. He's like into computers and is like a computer nerd, computer hacker, but all of a sudden he can upload fighting programs and he can kick anybody's ass. Like that's every nerd's dream right there. But Keanu's perfect for that with his like, yeah, like with his whole voice, just the way he is, like it's just that role was meant totally for him. The dress, the leather stuff, I never got the leather stuff. It's like, why, how is the leather helping you fight bad guys? Like, why is everybody wearing giant trench coats other than the fact that you're trying to conceal the weapons? But like Trinity's always in leather, everybody's always in leather. That doesn't, I don't understand what leather has to do with the future. I also, one of the things that I don't understand is how did Keanu Reeves, and I might have missed something here, but how did Neo know just the words The Matrix before Morpheus came around? He's like, you know what you're looking for. He's like, The Matrix. Yeah, I want to know about The Matrix. It's like, how did he know to call it that? Because when it first pops across his computer screen there, he knew what it was. Like, he had been looking for it, so I think so. Maybe not. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe go fuck myself. But yeah, so this one's easy to understand. Not easy to understand, but this one's way easier to follow from what I remember than the ones that are coming up. But basically, just to make sure I'm on the right page here, let's see where we are now. Keanu Reeves is a normal computer hacker guy, knows something's off with the world, doesn't know why. All of a sudden, he's contacted to follow the White Rabbit, which is just a classic freaking thing. To follow the White Rabbit, again, what many computer nerds are in their rooms waiting to happen to them, something just amazing like that. Follow the White Rabbit. It turns out that this whole world is a fake thing. This whole world is not real at all. That we're all in these little pods full with shit and tubes plugged into us. Basically, the way it is we created AI a long time ago, and we all... So basically what happened is humans created AI, we all rejoiced in our own accomplishments, and then all of a sudden the AI turned on us. Morpheus doesn't remember who struck first, but there was a war and we scorched the sky, or we scorched the skies. We got rid of the sun because we thought, hey, these machines need the power of the solar sun, just like we do, but we are dumbasses, and we destroyed it, and we destroyed the sun thinking that that would work, but then the robots realized, or robots. Then the machines realized, hey, we can use humans as battery because of the energy that they produce and the heat that they produce. So they started creating us in these giant pods and these huge fields, and they started mass producing humans and using us as fucking batteries. Meanwhile, they've got this shit plugged into our head that's producing everything you see around you. Your favorite Burger King restaurant, whatever the fuck. Donuts aren't real, steaks aren't real. I keep going back to food. Nothing's real. It's all what they want us to believe. We're not who we really are. We're just the shit that they're pumping into our brains to keep us alive and keep us in those fucking pods. So Morpheus has the key to all this. He says, take the red pill or the blue pill, one of the most classic iconic scenes. Blue pill, you'll go back to your bed, you won't remember any of this happened. Red pill, I'm going to take you down the rabbit hole and show you how fucked up shit is. There's a prophecy that says There's prophecies that says Neo's the one. Morpheus really believes this, but Neo's like, I'm just a computer hacker. And, but they start uploading. One of my favorite things is how they can upload, like, the karate and the fighting and shit into his head. And how, like, Trinity, when they upload how she can fly the helicopter. That is so fucking cool. I want that so bad. I think everybody wants that. I just want to go plug. That's what we should be working on. Why the fuck are we working on iPads and shit? I want to plug my head into a computer and just pull all that shit out of Wikipedia and be like fucking Jim Carrey and Batman Forever. Brain. That's what I want. Through all the shit that goes on, Neo slowly decides that he is the one. And Trinity falls in love with him. That whole thing, I mean, that's cool, whatever, you gotta have a love story and everything, I guess, but how did Trinity exactly fall in love with Neo? How did that even make any sense? Because, I mean, no, like, they liked each other, they were attracted to each other, they were around each other for a little while, but it's not like they even had a moment. They were just, like, in the same room, like, doing the same shit, and all of a sudden she's like, I know I love you. And then Ralphie, of course, I don't know the guy's name, he's an awesome actor too. You know, the dude that turns on everybody with the big, that steals Arnold Schwarzenegger's ice gun from Batman and Robin and turns on everybody. I call him Ralphie because that's who he was in The Sopranos, that fucker. Holy shit, Agent Smith. I mean, that is one of the most iconic, most badass villains ever. Just the perfect, from the way that he talks, to the creepy way he talks, the way he dresses, the mechanical way he moves. He brought that whole character to life. Probably my favorite actual character in these movies. That one scene when he's sitting there with Morpheus and he like pulls the sweat, and he's like, I hate your human stink. And he pulls the sweat off of Morpheus' bald head. Why was he sweating so much? And like puts it up to his nose. That shit was gross, but it really showed just the meanness behind these things, behind Agent Smith, and the way he always said, Mr. Anderson. What a cool ass sci-fi movie. I mean, this just like, it's so smartly written, it's so way out there, and it's such a cool idea. The imagination that everything around us isn't real and we're all in pods somewhere being slaved out as energy from machines. It's such a mind fuck that it's the greatest, for me, movie-wise, it's my favorite sci-fi idea of all time. And then they were like, fuck that, we're not just gonna leave it at that. We're gonna throw in a crazy-ass rock soundtrack and make some cool, sometimes corny, but really fun moments in this movie. We're gonna throw in some badass action scenes, some of the best special effects you've ever seen since like fucking T2, and we're just gonna go balls to the wall with this shit. And the Wachowski brothers just pulled off one of the greatest movies of all time, in my opinion, and one of the most recognized movies. Hey, it's a mind fuck, but there's also some explosions, so fuck you, Michael Bay. You just go on and on and on about this movie, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that, because we don't have time to do that. And my Keanu Reeves impression is terrible, I know. But I'm going to get into the bad ones now. What I remember as being bad. They could be good. I expect to be very, very confused. And by the way, just so you know, the documentary on here is that Revisiting the Matrix, or whatever it's called. It's actually like a 2-hour documentary. I'm going to watch that later too. Not today. But let's get confused now. Let's get Wachowski'd in the face.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.